You should definitely watch this video if you want to be good at solving DSA problems. I have solved more than 600 Leetcode questions so far till date and cleared interviews from these companies so far. In this video, we are going to talk about how to use Leetcode very effectively. There might be a lot of questions before you even begin your Leetcode journey. Something like which language to start with, how many Leetcode questions that I need to solve, do I have to go topic by topic? If I go by topic, how many questions on that topic that I need to solve? If you start solving a question by seeing a solution, is it considered as cheating? How do I memorize all these topics? Is Leetcode Premium worth it? Is there a way to avoid paying for Leetcode Premium? And many other questions. So let me share my 2 cents on all of these questions. Let's go. Why Leetcode? For small tier companies, you don't need to solve Leetcode. However, if you want to crack top companies, you definitely need to solve Leetcode questions. Because of it gets updated with the latest problems every day, and the best part is you can filter them by company tags. There will be multiple solutions for the same problem in different languages, and community support is excellent. Which language should you learn? There is no language barrier to solve DSA. During interviews, you can solve a problem using any programming language of your choice, whether it is C++, Python, Java, or Kotlin. However, make sure you select one of the object-oriented programming languages. Now, if you ask me what is my suggestion is, if you are starting fresh, and I would suggest, going for Python, as there are a lot of inbuilt libraries or the functions that are available, and the lines of code that you write to solve a problem using Python is far less compared to other languages. So it gives an unfair advantage compared to other programming languages. I generally use Java in my coding interviews as I'm comfortable with Java compared to Python. How many Leetcode questions do I need to solve? Short answer is there is no limit. How many ever questions you solve, it doesn't feel enough. If you ask me a sweet spot, I would suggest doing like 200 to 300 Leetcode questions. However, don't fall into a trap of doing more problems. Instead, focus on the quality. That is, bucketize the solutions, use pattern matchings, use 5-3-2 rule that I discussed as part of my previous videos, and focus more on medium complexity problems, as a lot of companies, including FANG or MANG, ask medium-based questions. How many questions do I need to solve per topic? There is no straightaway answer to this question. As part of your learning process, you will get to know what are your strengths and what's your weakness. Once you get to know this, spend more time on the questions where you're weak at. If you do 15 to 20 questions per topic, it's more than enough. One other important thing that I want to discuss here is time and space complexity. For example, you solved one of the hardest questions in your interview, but you went wrong with time and space complexity when you're simulating the solution with your interviewer. Do you think will you get selected for that round? I don't think so. So when you're planning to start your preparation, start with time and space complexity so that it becomes easy later. How much time do I have to spend on a particular question? Now, if you're a beginner and trying to solve a problem, it's actually good if you take as much time as you want to understand the solution thoroughly before moving to the next problem. Whether it could be an hour or a day or 2 days, it doesn't matter. But you got to understand the solution first. And you also need to understand the time and space complexity. Now, if you're not a beginner and you have a fair understanding of data structures and algorithms, then put a time limit to solve a particular problem. In general, interviews are scheduled for 45 minutes to 60 minutes. So I would say spend not more than 1 hour to solve a problem. Also, make sure to write optimized code. If you couldn't solve a problem within 60 minutes of time, even after taking a couple of hints from Leetcode, I would suggest watching video solutions. If you start looking for solution by copy pasting the problem in YouTube, we can get easily distracted by other content. That is the reason I suggest watching video solutions in Leetcode itself. So after seeing the video solution, try to solve the problem on your own without copy pasting the code to memorize the pattern. If you don't write down the solution on your own, you won't be able to memorize this long range. What will help on the day of interview? There are many interviews that I failed even after solving similar type of questions. The reason why I failed was I wasn't under the time pressure when I solved these questions. However, during the interview, there are several other different factors which come into place, like fear factor, time pressure, whether I'm able to communicate well with my interviewer, whether I'm asking the right questions, whether I'm writing an optimized code, and so on. So in order to overcome all this, I strongly suggest taking as many contests as you can. So there are like weekly and bi-weekly contests in Leetcode itself. Do I really have to buy Leetcode, or can I skip it? From my perspective, it's definitely worth it if you're preparing for interviews. But it's not the end of the world if you don't buy premium. You can start with top 150 Leetcode questions. There are multiple GitHub links which are strictly focused on solving the top frequent 150 questions. I shared these links below in the description. Please check them out. There is another GitHub link that I shared for which the problems are grouped by company. Do I have to memorize all these solutions? Answer is absolutely no. After solving multiple problems, you will start seeing a pattern and you need to recognize that. If you don't see a pattern for a problem, bucketize that question into a new pattern and go on. This technique will make your life easy to memorize, as there will be less number of patterns when compared to the questions that you solve. I covered a lot of topics in this video and answered most of the questions. I hope you guys gained at least some insights where to start with. Now, if you're looking for a step-by-step detailed interview plan, how to crack SANG or MANG in like 3 months, check out the course. And please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel.